We have another great crowd here at the Nordlof Center in downtown Rockford for our Game 2, Round 2 of Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl, the Eastland Cougars and the Hananiga Indians. We begin, as we always do, with our Superior Joining Technologies buzz-in round. Contestants, 10 points per question. If you get it right, that's what your team earns. If not, the other team gets a chance to steal your points. And if you buzz in, you're on your own, no conferring. We'll get to as many of these as we can in the time allotted. So hands on your buzzers for our first question this week in our Superior Joining Technologies buzz-in round. 13-year-old Benny Benson designed the flag of what U.S. state, which depicts the Big Dipper and Andrew?
Alaska.
Correct. And the North Star, and that is 10 points. Eastland, you're first on the board. What president who beat Martin Van Buren in the election of 1840 became ill during his inauguration speech? Spencer.
William Henry Harrison.
That is correct. Shortest tenure in U.S. history, and that is 10 points for Hananiga. You're both on the board now. What poet who wrote "Pile the bodies high at Austerlitz and Waterloo in grass" described the title city as the hog butcher for the world in Chicago? Andrew.
Sinclair.
Incorrect. Hananiga. Spencer.
Du Bois.
Incorrect. Born in Galesburg, Illinois, Carl Sandburg. No points. Here's a new one. What lake, which is the second deepest in America after Oregon's Crater Lake, is in the Sierra Nevada along the border of California and Nevada? Andrew.
Lake Mead.
Incorrect. Hananiga. No skiers in the group. Lake Tahoe. No points. And here's a brand new question, teams. What George Bernard Shaw play has a preface that claims the English have no respect for their language and will not teach their children to speak it? Andrew.
Pygmalion.
That is correct. The basis for the musical My Fair Lady, and that's worth 10 points for you. Themistocles defeated a much larger Persian force at what naval battle in 480 BC? Andrew.
Thermopylae.
Incorrect. Hananiga. Hayden.
Marathon.
Incorrect. Thermopylae is probably a good guess, right, for the Greco-Persian Wars there. The Battle of Salamis was that naval battle. What metal, which is alloyed with copper to produce brass, is used to protectively, Hayden?
Tin.
Incorrect. I'll continue for Eastland. Protectively coat other metals in galvanization and has, Andrew?
Zinc.
That is correct. Has atomic symbol Zn. Remember, you didn't have to beat them to the buzzer. You could have waited for that whole question, but it didn't matter to you. It's worth 10 points. The Ahmad Kadyrov Mosque is found in Grozny, the capital of what majority Muslim Russian republic? Andrew.
Kazakhstan.
Incorrect. Hananiga. Spencer.
Chechnya.
Chechnya is correct, and that's 10 more points for Hananiga. What city's King Kekrops chose the gift of an olive tree over a spring? Richard.
Athens.
That is correct. Made by Poseidon, thereby choosing as the city's patron the goddess of wisdom, who is Athena. Now we have a tie game. What third letter of the Greek alphabet names very high-frequency radiation? Andrew.
Gamma.
Also responsible for turning Bruce Banner into the Hulk. That is correct, and that's 10 points. The first step of glycolysis traps glucose in cells by adding what ion, also found in the backbone of DNA, whose molecular formula is PO4 3-. Andrew.
Phosphate.
Phosphate is correct, and that's 10 points. What gulf, whose coast is sometimes called the Third Coast, is connected to the Atlantic Ocean through the Florida Straits? Andrew.
The Gulf of Mexico.
Easy U.S. geography question there, right? Yep, that is correct. The Gulf of Mexico, and that's all the time we have for this round. So at the end of one, it's a 30-point swing. Eastland has 60, Hananiga has 30. Close game. Imagine this will stay close most of the round. We'll finish, we'll have our second round after this break. We call it our volleyball round. Stay here for that.